Tony. Yeah, what? My radio is now not working? Not my problem. He's mad. I'm surprised. Little Fumph is sort of fats. Kevin, that is. We'll have to work that off him, I guess. Fans have been left speechless whilst Monica and Kevin made an announcement that modified everything approximately Tony's troubled mining season. Just because the group concept they couldn't dig their manner out of failure, Kevin's wonder go-back turned heads and set the stage for something improbable. Monica and Kevin's ambitious selection wasn't just volatile, it turned into existence converting for everybody at Paradise Hill. Could their daring circulate certainly save the operation, or would it not cause an excellent larger catastrophe? Let us dive in and find the surprising truth in the back of their jaw-dropping statement that induced the FBI to arrest Tony Instant, a breakdown that modified the whole thing. By the midpoint of the season, chaos had absolutely overtaken Tony's Indian Riverside. What once seemed like a gold mine literally had become a scene of broken gadgets, stalled development, and a dwindling pile of gold. The intention of hitting 6,000 ounces felt like a distant dream after they slightly had 462 ounces of their pocket. And simply as matters could not seem to worsen, catastrophe struck. A predominant breakdown introduced the complete operation to a halt, forcing Tony to make a hard name. It was time to percent up and go back to the one location that had continually added results: Paradise Hill. But even there, the street to recovery wasn't going to be easy. Before we delve into this, it's clear that Paradise Hill held demanding situations far extra than all people anticipated. And what happens subsequent won't be the simplest aspect to depart you bowled over. Here's the factor about Paradise Hill. It's Tony's cross to spot when matters get bad. However, even the satisfactory floor can't mine itself. Pretty a lot any river became a large number. It become an absolute catastrophe. The key to getting back heading in the right direction lay in a 30-12 months vintage Trammell, a monster of a system that could chew through dust like no person's commercial enterprise. The problem? It had been out of fee for months, and Kevin, the fellow who usually knew how to deal with it, were MIA for 3 of these months. So when Tony decided to roll the cube and try and bring the Trommel return to existence, he knew it would take each ounce of teamwork from his group, which includes Monica and Mike, to make it appear. The plan regarded easy, sufficient on paper: elevate a 40-ton barrel off its skid frame, flow the skid to a brand new pad, and reassemble the complete setup to get the Trommel lower back in movement. But anybody who spent even a day on a mining site knows not anything ever goes according to plan. With Kevin still out of the photograph, Monica and Mike needed to step up in a huge manner. The stakes had been sky excessive. One incorrect flow and the whole operation might be derailed, or worse, a person ought to get significantly harmed. As the excavators groaned below the burden of the huge barrel, each inch of motion felt like it is able to spell disaster. Communication problems began cropping up almost without delay, with radios cutting out and tensions running excessive. Tony's frustration turned into impossible to miss. His shouting ought to likely be heard across the complete website online, but Monica and Mike saved their heads down, focusing at the project at hand. Okay, lift, go, pass, move. Now we are lifting the skid. They knew they couldn't find the money to permit the pressure get to them, specifically with Tony's watchful eyes following their each flow. Midway through the operation, matters took a flip for the more severe. A minor misstep almost dispatched the barrel crashing down, and tempers flared as the team scrambled to alter. Tony's no-nonsense attitude wasn't making matters any simpler, however. Monica and Mike, to their credit, refused to go into reverse. Slowly, carefully, they controlled to guide the skid into position. It turned into a stressful, nerve-wracking moment, but towards all odds, they pulled it off. For a short second, it felt like they could in the end breathe once more. But the work was some distance from over. Getting the barrel again onto the skid became just as problematic, requiring the equal stage of precision and endurance. Every chain needed to be flawlessly secured, every adjustment meticulously checked. The clock changed into ticking, and every person knew that each second spin on upkeep became a second lost on mining. Yet, in spite of the mounting pressure, the group stayed targeted, determined to see the process via. By the end of the day, the trauma became in the end again, collectively, ready to bite through dirt like it turned into built to do. It became a tough-fought victory, one which came with its truthful share of bruises, both physical and emotional. But for Tony, it was a glimmer of hope in any other case, bleak season. Monica and Mike had confirmed their worth, stepping up in Kevin's absence and displaying that they'd what it took to keep the operation shifting forward. Still, because the crew packed up for the night, there was no denying that the street ahead became going to be tough. The trommel is probably running. However, Paradise Hill's gold wasn't going to dig itself up. The crew would want to push harder than ever to make up for lost time and hit their goal. Just because the team commenced making progress, retaining the trommel jogging showed how tons pressure they were genuinely under, reviving the heart of the mine. The TRL gadget wasn't simply any piece of device. It turned into the spine of the operation. Over the years, it had earned its recognition as a reliable workhorse, but believe didn't make it run. Hard work did. Getting the beast to roar back to life becomes simply the first step. The real assignment would begin when the dirt commenced rolling in. Every 2D it sat idle turned into coins slipping through their hands, and the no-nonsense chief wasn't the sort to tolerate wasted time. This wasn't an enterprise for the faint-hearted, and the crew knew it. Monica and Mike, the younger guns of the operation, have been quickly rising to the event. Every day on the process turned into a crash direction in mining, and that they had been learning fast underneath the watchful eyes of their traumatic boss. Praise wasn't exceeded out without difficulty, but their development turned into simple. The lengthy nights blurred into early mornings with exhaustion battling willpower as they pushed ahead. Every bolt tightened and each load hauled, turned into a step toward their aim, and there has been no room for errors. The stakes were just too high. As the morning solar broke over the horizon, the team accrued to face the day's challenges. The overseer's sharp eyes scanned each inch of the operation, lacking nothing and calling out anything that failed to meet his high requirements. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. The trauma was fired up. It roared to lifestyles, and because the first masses of dust ran through smoothly, alleviation rippled via the crew. But no one dared celebrate just yet. This turned into handiest the start. Keeping the trauma running wasn't only a task. It became a relentless grind. Dirt needed to be dug, hauled, and loaded non-stop, a procedure that demanded precision and teamwork. The overseer's unyielding force pushed the crew to their limits, even if exhaustion commenced to creep in. By the afternoon, they had processed a big quantity of dirt and things had been eventually starting to appearance up. Still, the veteran miners revel and warmed him towards getting too cushy. Mining may want to switch on you in an immediate. As night fell, the crew wrapped up every other grueling day. Worn out but glad with their progress. They knew the street ahead was long, but for now, they might take a second to seize their breath. The coming days might be vital. Momentum changed into the whole thing in this commercial enterprise, and they couldn't have enough money to sluggish down. And with Paradise Hill showing promise, Wish was alive. However, the stress turned into on. Mining wasn't for quitters, and this team wasn't approximately to back down. Day by means of day, they settled into a rhythm, each load of dirt bringing them towards their intention. Monica and Mike endured to prove their worth, stepping up in ways that earned them the honor of even the toughest skeptics. Monica especially turned into carving out her area within the male-dominated world of gold mining. Raised in Dawson City, she were handling heavy equipment because she was 12, proving early on that she was constructed for this life. By 16, she became walking the show, her grit and resolution silencing any doubters. Fast ahead to nowadays, and Monica is greater than just a miner, she's a pressure to be reckoned with. Alongside her circle of relatives, she's helped flip Paradise Hill into a gold mining powerhouse, gaining repute through the hit show Gold Rush. But it is no longer simply her competencies that make her stand out. It's her bold mindset and capacity to thrive under strain. While a few puzzled her potential to deal with the demands of the activity, Monica proved them incorrect time and time once more. She wasn't there to take a back seat. She became there to lead. Off the display, Monica's lifestyles has been just as eventful. In 2018, she married Taylor Miles in a stunning ceremony in Dawson City, surrounded by using loved ones. By 2021, the couple welcomed their daughter Jasmine, adding another layer of pleasure to Monica's already full existence. But currently, enthusiasts have noticed cracks within the Photograph Fest facade. I suppose, kind of clicking with T-beats that got us there getting ambitious. Taylor's absence from Monica's social media and her appearances without her wedding ring have fueled rumors of problem in Paradise. Monica worked difficult to prove herself in mining, and her dedication saved sudden every person as she climbed higher. A miner's existence and recognition. Speculation is rampant, but without concrete proof, it is all just guesswork. Some assume the ring is off for sensible motives. After all, carrying earrings around heavy equipment is not exactly secure. Monica and Taylor have constantly saved their personal life under wraps, in contrast to many other public figures who thrive on interest. Whether there is fact to the rumors or now not, one element is clear. Monica's recognition stays on her circle of relatives and her work. Fans may be curious, but Monica's not approximately at hand over answers to questions she's no longer asking herself. Born in November 1993, this Yukon neighborhood did not simply live close to gold mines, she grew up with them as her playground. With a father like Tony Beats, who's essentially a legend in mining, it changed into almost a for you for the reason that she'd step into the identical boots. By the time most youngsters have been worrying about college projects, she turned into, already gaining knowledge of how to run heavy device. And by way of her late teens, no longer best becomes she a part of the mining crew, but she became also calling the shots. Imagine that.